We're really lucky to have so many great European cities right on our doorstep, just waiting to be rediscovered.
I don't know anywhere else you can get this many different sounds, colours and, of course, smells. Look at that.
And a weekend escape is a brilliant and easy way to explore them.
I am loving this. Feast your eyes on Venice.
So I'm going to have loads of amazing food.
Go on, baby. Sizzle. Sizzle! I may have found the best food in Amsterdam.
See some amazing sights.
Colosseum!
This is the famous Checkpoint Charlie.
Wow. This is stunning.
And check out the culture of each city.
You are the bravest people in Europe, and maybe the craziest.
Guys, I'm inside the fountain. I'm part of the Trevi Fountain.
So I'll be packing lots
Come and have a look at this.
into my 3-day trips.
Oh, wow. We're up on the roof. There is beer, there is wine, there is sunshine music, and there are lots and lots of smiles.
Showing you how to get the most out of a weekend getaway.
I feel like Audrey Hepburn.
Just 2.5 hours from rainy Britain is the Eternal City, Rome, with its incredible history, world-class food and guarantees of sunshine. What's not to love? I've arrived by early afternoon, so I've got time to see some sights on my first day.
Yes, Rome. I've been here many, many times before. It's where my wife's family are from, and it's got to be one of my favourite places on the planet.
Even though I've been before, this city never fails to surprise me. So I've planned 3 days of old favourites and new discoveries.
I love Rome. I love the history, I love the art, the culture and the food. I mean, history. Home of the Senate and the Roman emperors. You've got the Renaissance, you've got the home of the Catholic Church. And the food, some of the best food in the world. And you know what? The Romans just know how to live well.
With 10 million visitors a year, it's no surprise Rome has a ton of hotels.
Hello. Buonasera.
And as my time here is limited, I've made sure that my hotel is nice and central.
This is my hotel. This is where I'll be staying for the weekend. And I've chosen this hotel because it says it's got a rather spectacular view. Look at that.
The Roman Colosseum opened back in the year 80, and for 390 years it was the centre of Roman sporting life. 500,000 people died fighting on the arena floor, watched on by crowds of up to 50,000. Today it is Italy's most visited site, and I can see why.
I've loved history since I was a little kid, and my granddad used to tell me stories about knights and castles and Roman legions. Apart from family, history is my thing. That is my thing.
But I can't just hang around looking at the view. There's a whole city out there to explore and only 3 days to see as much as possible. To get me set for an ideal afternoon of exploring, I want something to rev me up.
It's a really hot day in Rome. What I need is a pick-me-up with a little bit of Roman indulgence. Signor, scusi, un caffè grandita con panna. Grazie. That is a nice coffee with cream.
Well, I am on holiday, so I'm allowed to indulge, and this is no ordinary iced coffee. It's the famous Italian granita.
Hey, right, look at this, look. Panna, cream, okay. The sliced ice and coffee with sugar, granita, more panna. Beautiful.
These little backstreet cafes are a great stop-off, packed full of local charm.
Let me show you something even better than my creamy coffee. Look. Look at that. That, of course, is the Pantheon. 2,000 years old. The Pantheon means home for all the gods. Look at it. It actually survived where other buildings didn't, because in the 7th century it turned itself into a church, and nobody demolishes churches, right? The Romans built it because they discovered something we now all take for granted: concrete. In fact, that dome up there, come on, look. That dome up there is still the biggest concrete dome in the world.
It feels like amazing sites like this are everywhere. With 280 fountains, 900 churches, 83 museums, and even a whole other country, you could be here a year and not see everything Rome has to offer. So I've got a simple plan to help me see as much as possible.
I'm on a long weekend, yes, but Rome's a big city with many beautiful things that I want to see. So I've booked myself a guide, and I'm going to get driven around the city so I do it quicker.
Maybe you are waiting for me.
Are you Alessandro?
Yeah, you Greg.
No. Are we getting in a car, or am I getting on that?
Yes, of course.
Mate, that is just brilliant. I used to drive Vespas. I was a mod.
Yeah.
I had a Vespa Super 150. This is lovely.
Let's go.
Andiamo.
You can do plenty of different types of tours in Rome, but I love to find a guide like Sandro, who enjoys sharing his passion for history. Plus, I get to travel like a local.
How long have you been riding a Vespa?
I think over 51 years.
This is a wonderful way of going around the city. What is the secret to driving in Roma?
Oh, it's easy. You just need to close your eyes and drive. Greg, this Vespa is the same model that they use for the movie Roman Holiday.
My wife loves that movie.
Yeah.
I feel like Audrey Hepburn. Where are we going?
So, Greg, now we go first of all to the Roman Forum.
The Forum was the area at the heart of the city during the Roman Empire. It's where government, religion and shopping all met. It's also full of monuments to the great and the good, and it's one of those Sandro wants to show me.
So, Greg, this is the Trajan column. This was the first column to celebrate the triumph of an emperor. This was built around 112 AD, after the conquest of the Dacian.
In fact, it was this victory that made the Roman Empire the biggest it would ever be. And it's the reason the descendants of the Dacians are known by another name today, Romanians.
The column is in the center of the Trajan market, the largest mall in the Roman Empire, with about 1,000 wine bars and libraries and shops.
To drive around on a beautiful Vespa with a man who knows his Roman history is like I have died and gone to heaven.
Thank you.
If we put a gelato in as well, that's it. I will never go home.
top.
No, I will never go home.
And with the Forum ticked off our list, the iconic sites come thick and fast.
Colosseum!
Yeah. But why Colosseum? Simply because at the side was the gigantic statue of the emperor, and gigantic in Latin is colossus.
So it just means huge.
Exactly huge, yeah.
Right next door, there's another monument to the city's history that Sandro wants to show me.
What is this?
That's the Arch of Constantine. It was built after the battle at the Milvian Bridge in 312 AD.
Am I right in thinking the Arch de Triomphe in France is like a copy of this?
Of course, I have to confess you, Greg, that I hate this arch.
Why?
Because this is the symbol of the beginning of the end of the Roman Empire. Later, Constantine moved the capital to Constantinople.
Constantine's move to what's now Istanbul is often seen as the beginning of the end of the empire, as Rome's global power began to fade.
Another big road. Here we go. I like the little alleys. You can't get run over by a lorry in the alleys. Do you think a Vespa is a romantic thing?
The Vespa was, but still is, the best tool for Roman boys to keep Roman girls. It's magnetic, you know?
Do you know what? It's hard to disagree, to be honest. Look at this beautiful place.
Coming up, Sandro takes me to a spot steeped in infamy,
Julius Caesar was killed here.
and I uncover the roots of a Wallace family staple.
This is one of my favourite dishes to eat. I've learnt a lot today.
I'm on a weekend break in one of my favourite cities in the world, Rome. I've got 3 days here and I'm going to show you how to pack so much into that short time. My tour guide Sandro has promised me one final stop. Apparently, it's the site of one of the most famous moments in Roman history.
Where are we?
Piazza Argentina, Argentina Square.
What happened here?
Julius Caesar was killed here.
Hey, I'm going to get off here. OK, thank you. One moment.
You're welcome. Grazie.
You are a good man.
Grazie.
I will never come to Rome without phoning you.
I wait for you.
OK?
Thank you very
Thank
much.
you.
Ciao,
Thank you
Gregg.
so much.
Ciao, Greg.
We've all heard of Julius Caesar, right? Well, he is a particular favourite of mine. And Sandro assures me that down there is where the great man was murdered by the Senate.
On the Ides of March back in 44 BCE, a group of senators were so concerned that Caesar wanted to overthrow the Republic and make himself king that they stabbed him to death.
But there's also something a bit unusual going on down there, and I really want to take a closer look.
Today the senators are long gone, but that doesn't mean the ruins lie empty. In fact, it seems to be quite a popular hangout.
I've come to see the place where Julius Caesar was murdered.
You are the right place.
Where
I
was
can
it?
show you. Under that pine, that is the place in which Julius Caesar was stabbed to death in 44 before Christ. And now here there is a shelter for cats.
That seems quite unusual to me. So about 10 yards away is the place where the whole Senate stabbed Julius Caesar to death. And right next to it is a place where you look after cats. Is that right?
Yes, right. When they made excavation, the cats found also a good place to hide. There are a lot of mice here. And so came the cats and came the gattare. Gattare is a cat lady. I am a gattara, I am a cat lady.
Did the ancient Romans have pets? Did they keep cats?
The ancient Romans loved cats. Just close to us, there was a very big temple to Isis. And inside the temple, there was also a part dedicated to Bastet, goddess with the face of a cat. Yes.
So you think that maybe it may have been religious as well?
Yes, we are Catholic.
Catholic?
Cat-olic. Cat, mouse. Meow.
Yeah. I thought my jokes were bad, but yours are even worse. Catholic.
It seems like Sylvie's feline friends are getting a good feed, and I can't help but feel like it's my dinner time too. You can easily get ripped off with a pricey pizza and pasta around here, but there is so much more to Roman food. And the dish I want to eat is one my wife and I cook at home, carciofi alla giudia. Well, that's fried artichokes between you and me. But I want to find out more about it, so I'm meeting up with local food historian Eleanor Baldwin.
Eleanor?
Greg.
Good to meet you.
To meet you too.
Now, you know I wanted to find out about the artichoke dish that I
Yes.
love, right? So why are we here?
Well, let me show you. The history of this neighborhood shaped that very recipe.
Wow, all right, now I'm intrigued. It's a bit, I don't know where we are.
This is the Roman Jewish ghetto. The second oldest ghetto of Europe. The oldest is Venice. This is where Jews were kept by a law of the popes between 1555 and the mid-1800s. And in those 300 years, very poor ingredients become the base of cucina romano-giudaica, Jewish Roman cuisine.
So how did it go from being food of the Jewish ghetto to becoming kind of sort of mainstream Italian?
because the minute the ghetto was opened in the mid-1800s, people started coming to this old part of town and enjoying this food that was, wow, this is an incredible taste that I've never had before. Of course, it was sheltered for 300 years.
These 4 city blocks on the banks of the Tiber housed the Jewish community without sanitation and with strict rules to abide by.
Dusk till dawn, you had to be in the Jewish ghetto. They were forced to attend Mass and learn precepts of the Catholic Church, of the Christian faith, trying maybe to convert them, but just in addition to making their life hard.
I'm amazed with that level of oppression that actually Judaism survived inside this ghetto.
I think it was the oppression that made them stronger.
You know, when immigrant peoples move from one place to another, sometimes they change their dress, sometimes they even change their religion. Do you know what they hold on to the very last? Is their foods. Yeah, it's this idea of eating what your ancestors would have ate, the way your mother cooks, your grandmother cooks.
And it keeps your heritage strong and bound together.
Can we taste some of this incredible history here?
I have just the place for that.
Would it be my artichoke as well, would it? Come on.
Of course it is.
Today, this neighbourhood is packed with restaurants celebrating the food that came out of that dark history. And Eleanor promises me she knows just the chef to show me the true Roman way to cook my artichokes.
Amit!
Hi.
This is Greg. He loves artichokes.
Wonderful. This is the first place.
My wife cooks the artichokes for me. My wife's family are from Rome.
But my artichoke is better.
I'm sure. My friend Eleanor, she says you have the best artichokes in Roma.
Absolutely.
I want to see how you do your artichoke.
Okay, this is start with the artichoke.
Just like my wife, the first thing Amit does is get rid of the hardened outer leaves.
Mia casa, at home, I put it here like
Yeah.
this, and one grande
No.
coltello wallop.
No, no.
No?
No, grande coltello, because can you take...
That's grande coltello.
It's not grande. You have to take that.
Ah.
This one, it's why? Because the oil enter inside and make the open, automatic open.
And cook the inside.
Cook the inside and open. And now we're ready for the fried.
By cutting the artichoke on an angle, Amit gets oil into every petal, cooking every part of the flour. And then he leaves them to cool so they open up naturally.
Allora, this is after it's very cold, okay, very, very cold. It's temperature, frigid temperature. We make in the second time, and this is the second time ready.
So,
Okay?
if we let that go freddo, go cold, it will be like
Will
this.
be like this in the fridge. Now it's the cold artichoke, and what it's? We have the temperature very high now.
Olio molto caldo.
Molto caldo, you want change?
Okay.
Prego. Attention.
See?
And
While the first fry cooked the artichoke, this one is going to give it the crispiness that makes this dish special.
That is one of my favorite things in the world to eat. Do you want to see my happy face?
you want it?
You ready? You want to see a happy face?
Yes.
Un momento.
Okay.
And here it is.
2 minutes and you test the best artichoke, okay?
You wanted to
Test,
taste
huh?
it. Can I taste?
No,
know.
get off.
Come on.
You know,
I love this. I honestly adore this dish. And do you know what I think it is? It's the contrast of textures and flavours. You've got the crispy bitter leaf at the top that's salty. Then you've got the juicy, almost sweet leaf and artichoke underneath. But it is a beautiful thing. Simple, inexpensive, and beautiful. This is one of my favourite dishes to eat. I had no idea it was Jewish food. I just didn't know. I've learnt a lot today.
There's something about getting to eat one of your favourite things in the place that it originally came from that's very special indeed.
You know, I've been eating artichokes fried like that for years. But what's really nice is what started off as just a delicious morsel was actually opened a treasure trove of historical and cultural knowledge. I love that about food.
Now, I get that early rises aren't everyone's cup of tea on a weekend break, but sometimes it's so worth it.
Hey, this is good coffee.
Thank you.
The great thing is you get the place all to yourself.
Arrivederci.
Arrivederci.
Thank you. Rome has a completely different feel first thing in the morning. For a start, it's a lot cooler. And if you want to see the sights, get up early before the crowds attack them.
This is my longest day in the city, and there is one place I want to try and see before the rest of Rome wakes up.
This, of course, is the world-famous Trevi Fountain, a fantastic example of over-the-top Baroque artistry. There are literally scores of brilliant fountains all over Rome, many built by popes competing with each other, trying to outdo each other. They're not just showing the beautiful artistry, they're showing their ability to bring fresh water into the city from all around the countryside. This one, I think, wins hands down.
This fountain was commissioned by Pope Clement VIII, took 32 years to build and was finished in 1762. But I'm told the water source it's celebrating is significantly older. So I've organised to get a special peek at the inner workings.
Enrico? Buongiorno. What is this?
È l'arrivo del vecchio acquedotto vergine, che è stato costruito dagli antichi romani, viene dalla zona chiamata Salone, sulla Collatina, e viene tutto a caduta libera. Un tempo era potabile, oggi non è più potabile e lo usiamo soltanto per le fontane e per l'innaffiamento.
In fact, back in 19 BCE, Roman technicians located a water source 8 miles outside of Rome, supposedly with the help of a virgin. And it's this scene that the artist, Nicola Salvi, imagined on the front of the fountain.
Allora, questa non era una fontana per prendere l'acqua, ma era soltanto una fontana di rappresentanza del vecchio acquedotto vergine. Se vieni ti mostro.
Whoa! Oh, wow. Guys, I'm inside the fountain. I'm part of the Trevi Fountain. That is fabulous.
I think the crowds might be more interested in the god Oceanus and the seahorses than me, so I'm going to slip away in search of some breakfast, Roman style.
Breakfast in Italy is called colazione, and I'm really surprised over here and delighted at the same time. I've never seen people have so many sweet, sticky things for breakfast. Have a look at this, look. It's all breakfast.
Pasticcerias like this are dotted all over the city, serving up sweet snacks from every region of the country. And for my breakfast, I fancy a tour of Italy.
Nome Fogliatelli?
Sfogliatelle, yes.
Fogliatelli, un fogliatelli. And cannoli, cioccolato.
Okay. You eat now?
Yeah.
Oh, this is for you.
Cafe?
Espresso, Italian espresso. So,
Espresso.
Okay,
espresso,
I order
sì.
for you.
Did you see what I mean about, look, it's all sweet, sticky things for breakfast. I mean, I don't mind, you know, I've got a sweet tooth. What do they say? When in Rome? Now, these are from Sicily, and these are cannoli. My wife makes these. Excuse me. The cannoli has got quite a thick pastry, but it's crunchy, it's in no way heavy. And inside that is ricotta cheese, and that is sweetened. So you get a bit of a chocolate hit, and you definitely get a sugar fizz.
Next up, a little bit of Naples, the sfogliatella.
Look, that's a little bit like a croissant, but inside, look at that. More sweetened ricotta, look. I want to talk to you, but I'm in a bit of a sticky mess, right? So, that is puff pastry, sweetened puff pastry, and it's got a slight flavour inside of cinnamon and a slight bit of raisins as well.
Before you go, you have to try the king of the breakfast in Rome. It's the maritozzo. You know?
No.
Oh, I show you. This is the maritozzo with cream.
How do you have so many sweet things for breakfast?
It's the same as us. So How can you eat breakfast eggs and bacon? We don't know. Only sweet for us in the morning.
Okay, ready?
Yes.
Oh. It's like a heavy sponge cake, but that cream is very light. And it tastes like it's been dipped in some syrup, maybe even a little bit of alcohol in the syrup. Well,
Oh, this is the right way. So.
enjoy, but try and do it a bit more elegantly than me. You got a napkin.
Coming up, I check out the city's artistic treasures. Do you know who made that? Michael the Angel, Michelangelo. And indulge in a very different Roman masterpiece.
That is my idea of heaven.
It's Saturday in Rome, and I'm packing as much in as I can of this incredible city's food, history, and culture. Now, if you don't have time to queue for hours to get into the Sistine Chapel, it doesn't mean you can't indulge in some of the amazing art that this city has to offer.
What makes Rome so fantastic is, of course, it's got world-class galleries and museums, but it's also got incredible works of art in virtually every piazza and every church. Come and have a look at this.
This is San Pietro in Vincoli, a neighbourhood church up one of Rome's 7 hills, the Oppian Hill. But neighbourhood churches in Rome are a little different from the ones in my native southeast London.
From what I understand, in here somewhere in this church is something quite exceptional, something really rather beautiful.
Tucked away in the corner is a piece of art that would take pride of place in museums around the world.
That is the tomb of a pope, and the big guy there with the beard at the bottom, that's Moses. Do you know who made that? Michael the Angel, Michelangelo. It took him 40 years. You know why? He had the small job of the Sistine Chapel to finish.
So many of the churches in Rome have pieces by world-famous artists like this, you just need to take your pick.
It's beautiful, and the point is, you don't have to queue up to get in here. It's free, and this stuff is all over Rome. It's amazing.
It's almost lunchtime and I'm starving. Time to enjoy more Roman food. This time I've come a short 3 miles from the city centre to the Monteverdi neighbourhood to see what it's like to shop, cook and eat like a regular Roman punter.
Whenever I go away, I have to visit the local food market. It's the beating heart of a community. Beautiful sights and smells, and of course it was the fruit and veg markets where my food career started.
At the San Giovanni del Dio market, I'm meeting up with local food writer Gina Tringali,
Hi.
Buongiorno, right?
Buongiorno.
who reckons this place perfectly sums up the way Romans think about their food.
It's one of the most untouched markets in the city, so visited by locals.
Do you know what I noticed with the Italian shopping? They don't have lists.
No, based on what's the freshest, they put together a dish in their mind on the spot.
It's a world away from how most of us cook at home, but when the produce is this good, you can understand why.
So how often, typically, would a shopper come to the market?
Every day or every other day.
But how can they go to work and come to the market every day?
If food is a priority in your life, and cooking good food and eating well, and eating what you want that day, you find time. It is crucial. Life revolves around food.
Romans' passion for food isn't about fancy, expensive ingredients, and Gina reckons this goes to the heart of Roman cooking.
Gina, so what here is uniquely Roman?
Uniquely Roman is quinto quarto, so
What is that? What is
the
that?
fifth quarter.
A fifth quarter?
Yep.
Yeah, one of us
Any
has got really
idea?
bad maths. What's a fifth quarter?
So like at the end of the 1800s up through 1970 or so, butchers, when they were cutting up all parts and using every part of the animal, all of the prime cuts or the most prized cuts went to the wealthy, the nobles, the clergy. And what was left was the fifth quarter because it weighed a quarter of the weights of the animal. And they created these beautiful dishes using offcuts to feed themselves, to feed their families.
Is there a name for this cuisine?
It's cucina povera.
What's povera?
Poor kitchen.
Poor kitchen. Where can I try this cucina povera?
I know a great place in this neighborhood.
Buono pranzo? Good
Buono
lunch?
pranzo, sì.
You take me, I will pay. Come on, come on.
Gina has promised me that our lunch stop is beloved by Romans because the chef is cooking food from his grandmother's kitchen, which is about as high a compliment as it's possible to get in Italy.
You're going to introduce me?
I'm going to introduce you, of course.
Oh, buongiorno.
This is Leonardo.
Buongiorno.
Greg.
Mio nome è Greg.
Mio nome è Leonardo.
Leonardo.
Buongiorno.
Mio italiano bene?
Benissimo.
My Italian okay?
Sì,
Parla inglese?
pochissimo.
Brilliant! Can we come in?
Prego, prego, prego.
Fantastic.
Yes.
Oh. Oxtail?
Oxtail, yes.
What are we cooking?
Oxtail alla vaccinara. Vaccinaro era the guardian of the beef.
They were the butchers.
Okay, it's the butcher's dish. It's the food of the butcher.
I prepared the oxtail with tomato sauce, and this is the main courses. And the tomato sauce, it's sauce for the pasta.
Why?
In one preparation, I have two dish.
Again, it's the cucina povera.
Cucina povera, yes. In my house, in my grandmother, si dice cucinava.
She cooked every day.
She cooked every day.
How old were you when you're cooking with your grandmother?
8 years, 9.
How much passion for this food?
It's no passion, it's my life.
This food is your life.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
The idea of getting the most out of cheap, basic ingredients goes to the heart of cucina povera. Well, I guess I'm going to have to try it.
Hungry?
Starving.
This is a very simple-looking restaurant, isn't it?
It is. It's a trattoria. Trattoria food is more for the masses
And that's what
and
this is.
simple.
So eating out in Rome isn't necessarily an expensive thing.
No. In Italy, it's your birthright.
Ecco.
I got the oxtail.
Right, the gnocchi.
Enjoy your lunch.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Grazie.
I can smell the sweet richness of that sauce.
That's
I really can. Shall we?
Yes,
Buon
absolutely.
appetito.
Buon appetito.
An old cliche to say the meat just falls off the bone, but it does.
It does.
The meat is so soft and so moist, wrapped up in a rich sweet tomato sauce. Oh, that is my idea of heaven. May I?
You must. All of this food came from what we saw cooking, the oxtail in the kitchen.
You've got a lovely rich tomato sauce and the oxtail flavour's gone in the sauce.
Amazing.
Covered over light, fluffy pillows of potato gnocchi.
Perfect representation of this cucina povera.
Absolutely lovely. Thanks for bringing me here.
You're welcome.
Beautiful
I'm glad.
food. Beautiful, beautiful food. You're my new best friend.
It's been an amazing Saturday, but it's not over yet. My old friend Eleanor has been in touch and told me about a get-together at a very special spot overlooking the city, the famous Gianni Colo.
Why were there loads of people up here looking down over the city?
Tonight is what's commonly called the Night of Shooting Stars and celebrating San Lorenzo, St. Lawrence.
Is San Lorenzo something to do with this shooting stars?
He was a martyr. He was celebrating a Christian mass in a time when Rome was pagan. But his celebration, since the day he died, is when the meteor shower is the most intense. It's said that it's his tears falling from the sky.
That's fabulous.
It's amazing to think that San Lorenzo's life is still celebrated by Romans, but I guess 1700 years isn't that long in the Eternal City. Coming up, there are presents waiting in the ice cream shop.
I'm like a child waiting for Christmas morning.
Yes, Christmas is coming.
And I take a step back in time to fulfill a childhood dream.
I think you are ready to die.
It's my final day in the Italian capital, Rome, and I can't leave the city without getting one of my favourite Italian treats, Gelato. Yep, more food. This is Giolitti's, where the family have been serving up gelatos to the people of Rome since 1900.
Every weekend, I used to go up Rye Lane, Peckham with my grandparents, and there was a big department store called Jones and Higgins, and they had a big gelato stand. And me and my granddad would always get an ice cream every weekend. I've always loved gelato. Am I allowed to taste? You got too many flavours.
Yeah, we have like 100 flavors.
Caramel!
Caramel. This one, it's caramel.
So my mouth goes numb because of the cold, and in there comes, wrapped up in the most creamy, beautiful texture, is sweetness, deep sweetness, like the ripest of figs. That is a stunning sensation. I love this shop.
We try to make a traditional gelato.
I'd like to know what is traditional gelato.
Yeah.
Can you show me?
Of course.
Fred, thank you.
For my money, the Italians make the best ice cream in the world. And if anyone is going to know the tricks of the trade, it's a fifth-generation gelato maker.
Mr. Nazareno Giolitti,
Hi.
the owner.
Hey! Oh, you are the boss?
Yes.
Your gelato è bellissimo.
I'm in luck because Nazarello is making my favourite flavour, chocolate.
This is powder. I thought it was going to be like little buttons,
Yes.
but
No,
it's not.
no butter. No, this is chocolate.
Yeah, look.
I want cocoa.
It's pure.
Yeah. I use cacao because cacao is real material for prepare gelato of chocolate.
Costa Grande.
Yes,
It's
because
very expensive.
Yes.
Unlike regular ice cream, gelato can only have up to 15% air. That's what gives it the rich, silky texture that Italians demand.
That is such a rich,
Yes, fantastic.
rich
fantastic.
cocoa smell.
Yes, smile. Look, listen. It's fantastic.
This man loves his gelato.
Yeah. This is my work. It's a work of my father, my grandfather. It's not possible no love.
There is so much history and passion in this gelato. So what could be better than trying it straight from the churner?
The wait is terrible. I'm like a child waiting for Christmas morning.
Yes, Christmas is coming.
Christmas is coming.
It's coming.
Gelato del Gregg. Oh, please.
Yeah.
Please, let me.
Come with me.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm coming.
Put here. Huh? Test your work.
It is smooth and rich and creamy, but it's the quality of the chocolate. It's almost bitter, and then it is sweet. I love this. Hey, my friend. Oh, thank you so much.
Thank you
This
for
was-
your work.
This was a beautiful thing to do.
Yeah.
Back at my hotel, the team on reception have been telling me a little bit more about the amazing view from my room.
Down there, if you look down here, look, over the balcony, that is the gladiator training school. That is where you're trained to go in there and either live or...
The gladiator fights might have finished centuries ago, but that doesn't mean all their secrets died with them. Over at Rome's most iconic park, the Villa Borghese, the legends of the gladiators are alive and well. Members of the Gruppo Storico Romano battle like gladiators to keep the techniques and training of ancient Rome's biggest sporting heroes here in the present.
Mate, that is... sorry, that is terrifying. You okay?
Ave,
Have.
Marcus Valerius.
Greg. What is your
Greg?
what is your real name?
Piero.
Piero. And your friend?
Mirko.
Could you ask him not to look so scary? He is scaring me.
He is scary every day.
Listen, you are a very fit, strong man, but do you know about the history of these gladiators as well? Who were the gladiators?
Gladiators were or prisoners of war, slaves, criminals condemned to the death penalty.
They could fight instead.
They can a kind of extended time for their life. unless after a certain number of fights their owner decides to give him his freedom. They could make a lot of money if they were becoming famous. Think about David Beckham nowadays.
The problem is when David Beckham was practicing, nobody cut his head off.
Probably not.
What was it like going to the Colosseum for a fan?
There is people passing the whole day in the Colosseum. You could see Venationes, so the huntings.
Hunting animals?
Yes. And after the Venationes, there were the criminals facing each other. Only the best one could survive. There were the executions at the bestiam, so the people was killed by the animals.
Wow.
The people loved this. And then the people was waiting for the best moment of the day, the gladiators fighting. Would you like to try?
Listen, I've loved Roman history since I was a little boy. If I can be a gladiator just for 10 minutes, I will be really happy. Can you train me, properly train me?
I spend too much time with you and I have other people to train. If you want to spend your time with my partner, you can do it.
The scary man?
The H24 scary man.
He's looking at me really funny. If I'm going to get out alive, I better take this seriously. Introducing Gregorius Wallicium, the Britannian bruiser, 5'8" and never lost a gladiatorial battle. And his opponent, the taller, stronger, more experienced, scary man. Listen, you're gonna have to. If I'm going to fight your friend, you've got to teach me.
Right.
Otherwise, he'll kill me.
I know he's gonna kill you. I know he's gonna kill you. Don't worry. I will teach you the 5 basic movements.
This might be for fun, but in the afternoon heat of Rome, you certainly get a sense of how strong the gladiators needed to be.
I think you are ready to die.
Just like in the Colosseum, the more experienced gladiator gets the less effective weapon, although I can't help but feel that even that won't help me.
Back of the net. Please. What's a gladiator going to do?
With the childhood dream fulfilled, it's almost time for my flight home. But before I leave, I've got time for one last look at the majesty of this amazing city.
I've been to Rome many times, but I always get surprised. It always shows me something new. But there are two things that have a big impact on me whenever I visit: the people and the food. The people, so much warmth and so much energy and vibrancy. And the food, well, in my opinion, some of the best food in the world. And the Romans, they are rightly proud of it.
Gregg's back next Friday at 9 when his big weekend takes us to Edinburgh. Do you ever dream of jumping in the car and leaving it all behind for a few days? Well, imagine doing it in a £1 million motorhome. We check out the best of the best, brand new Sunday at 8. Next tonight,